To create an assignment in Google Classroom, we first want to start by going to the bottom right plus sign. This is going to give us the different options that we have for assignments, announcements, questions, and able to reuse a post. We're going to focus on creating assignments. So if I go up to the clipboard and select that, this will pop up the window for me to create an assignment. For the first assignment, we are going to look at Unit 1. And again, we're going to base this, for the sake of argument, off of our medical terminology class. So we will look at medical terminology, and Unit 1 is the structure of medical language. So I will include that in my title. As we work within this program, it is important that we use common naming conventions. As you work through teaching a class like this, it is very helpful to be able to track what you're doing. It will also help your students as they go through and organize themselves. So I will name it Unit 1. In the instructions, I would give very detailed instructions. These would include due dates, put a space in there, due dates, instructions, I should say activity names, and any other information that you think would be important. The more information that you give students for an online course in the instructions portion will make it easier for them to function. So this is not an all-inclusive list by any means. You will notice that I included due dates in the instructions. I include that as well as including the due date as part of creating the assignment. So I'm going to make the due date for tomorrow for the sake of argument. I can change topics. We're not going to go into that here. So now I have my unit name, I have my instructions. Now I need to attach any documents that are necessary. So because we are organized with our curriculum in Google Drive, we will attach a file from Drive. And I'm going to go to My Drive. I am going to find my medical terminology folder. I will find my Unit 1. And again, this is where naming conventions become important. These are in-class activities that I wish to include. Before I put activities, if you have any other presentations, anything like that, you would probably want to add those first and then have your activities second. So I'm actually going to back up here. I will go back into that medical terminology. I will look back at Unit 1 and I'm going to include my presentations. In this case, there will be just one. So I'm going to choose that, select Add, and that adds the presentation. I can also add hyperlinks. So I'm going to go in here and again to our medical terminology. This is our sister site. Again, everything in this curriculum is organized through Google Drive. So when I find our medical terminology class, we have some lectures that we have hyperlinks to interactive lectures. So we're looking at Unit 1. I'm going to grab this hyperlink right here from this list, and then I will go back and I will go to the hyperlink and attach the link. I paste that link in there and click Add. So now I have my PowerPoint presentation. I have the annotated or dynamic version. Those are my resources. We can go back to instructions for a moment. If you have any book reading or articles, anything like that, include those as well, resources that are outside of your electronic. Now we have the PowerPoint, we have the link to the dynamic version. Now I'm going to add in any assignments that I'm going to have them do. So again, I go back through that attaching process. I'm going to go back into my Drive, Health Careers, Medical Terminology, Unit 1, and we will go to our in-class activities. Now, depending on what you want to use, I'm only going to put one in here. just for the sake of argument, setting this up so we can see how it works. So I'm going to grab this review, I'm going to add that. So now I can see I have the name of my unit, I have instructions that are extremely detailed. Here just examples for you. And then I have any documents. I have my due date, and then I will click Assign. Once I have hit this point and I've clicked Assign, now the students will be able to see this. I can always go back and make edits by going to the three dots on the upper right hand corner of the assignment, and I can go into Edit. I can also delete, but at this point we don't want to play with that. This allows me to go back though and re-edit my assignment, add things, take things out. It's basically like starting over, hit the save button, and it is back in for student use.